The most interesting thing about Qifrey is not that he has spicy secrets, it's that he earns your trust completely and then makes it impossible to fully trust him.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Qifrey is dangerous, but not because he's some fake kind villain pretending to care, but because he might be a problem waiting to happen for the people around him. But especially two characters are in danger, Coco and himself. My name is Lucy. Yeah, trust me bro, I look like this IRL. And today, we're digging into this dude. There's a collective distrust movement against Qifrey after Witch Hat Atelier episode 8. For a good reason. Because the question for Qifrey right now is, bro, why are you here at all? So the short story for people that for some reason don't understand what I'm talking about is this. This is Qifrey. He's a mentor-teacher figure in Witch Hat Atelier. He teaches weird kids to become better mages. He's handsome, he's patient, compassionate, definitely can do your JoJo pose, and a nice guy overall. A stand-up guy that good guys love and degenerates hate. But also with an obsession in chasing the brim hats. It's to a point that he's okay attacking innocent people if they stand between him and the brim hats. See, maybe instead of collecting cute kids, be in the military instead. How about that, huh? Yes, he is really suspicious. But here's the thing. I don't think he's some cartoon manipulator pretending to care because the plot needed a sexy red flag. No, I have a really strong case that he doesn't fake his kindness. Qifrey looks like what psychology calls a wounded healer. Someone who can help others because he understands pain, but can also become dangerous when the same pain starts making decisions for him. And in Witch Hat Atelier, that one might be connected to the most problematic spell in the anime, Memory Erasure. Memory Erasure is a constant threat in this anime. Coco was threatened by it multiple times, and Qifrey implicitly uses it on someone innocent in the story. And about Qifrey, I have a heavy suspicion that Qifrey's memories were tampered. I don't know by whom. No, I haven't read the manga, so I don't know whether it's true or not. But that hypothesis brings us somewhere. If Qifrey's memories were tampered with before, no matter by whom, then the problem is not just that he forgot something. Forgetting is not healing. Something inside him may still be reacting to a story he can't remember. That's basically what known in Jungian psychoanalysis as a complex. It's an emotional wound that sometimes, when triggered, hijacks the steering wheel from people's consciousness. Just look at Qifrey. Most of the time, Qifrey is your normal bloke. Functional, sweet smile, beautiful hair, beautiful body. But when the wound gets touched, the complex starts running the show unconsciously, just for a second. And that's the keyword, unconsciously. We know that Qifrey is consciously chasing the brim hats, but imagine it like these complexes. They're like, let's make him more reckless about it, more extreme. So, how much of that obsession is fully him then? Does that include all of out-of-place expressions, hasty decisions against the innocent? And also, if you're curious, Qifrey's complexes are also why I am pretty sure he'd gone through memory wiping. It's just too convenient. The concept of memory wiping is there, all the stink eyes are there, and no, that's not Gapmoy, okay? So for the question of whether we can trust Qifrey, no. Heck no. Coco, run for the hills, my child. But at this point, Qifrey also shouldn't 100% trust himself. Bro needs the Naruto training arc and seclusion, but the seclusion is his own palace like in Persona 5. Embrace the shadow. Caress the shadow. So yes, Qifrey needs therapy. But before we throw this man to the washing machine, we need to ask one very uncomfortable question. What if Qifrey is not broken because he's unique somehow? What if Qifrey is broken because this world's solution to every uncomfortable truth is just magical escapism? This anime, man. Let's talk heart to heart for a second. Come here. Get close, my child. There are two things I usually enjoy in anime. One is character development and dynamics, and two is complex world building you can spend hours lost into. And for the longest time, there's nothing topping the Apothecary Diaries in world building for me. Nothing. But the thing about the Apothecary Diaries, in case of character development, they concern more about character development. I mean, but now, I think they have a competition. A legit one. Now, let's think about what we've discussed before. I'm gonna show you why this memory wiping culture is so problematic. Because there's no way Qifrey is the only one. I am, of course, talking partially about these Knights Morales. It's so easy for them to be like, you have her memories, and now they're gone. Just look at episode 8. This dude with sing-sing eyes just came out of nowhere, restrained children using magic, and at that very place, without that much investigating, attempted to erase Coco's memories. No trial? No warrant? Not even a little clipboard? Bro just spawned in and deporting people. Excuse me, is your country happens to host the World Cup? And if this kind of memory erasure leaves no obvious trace, or even just no trace normal people can notice, then how would anyone know how often it happened? Maybe this random aggressive dude from episode 10 gets its memory erased every single week just for funsies. Maybe that witch in the background lost 2 months of memories already. But also, what about those outsiders? This is nuts. You're saying to me that these witches, this Knight Morales, they run around, barely supervise, spreading complexes to the entire society? You have a complex now. You get a complex. Everyone gets a complex. Sir, are you drunk? Did you drink this afternoon? I can't remember. What is this? And sadly, the victim for this irresponsible Jungian culture are not just people that gets directly fucked. It's also people around them. People around Qifrey. And Coco is in the perfect setup for the worst case scenario. Honestly, I literally can't believe anime fans nowadays. So, I was researching for this video around Qifrey, around Coco, and then it got really confusing really fast. Because some people are really loud on their opinion about her. Let me just show you. Coco is so annoying. I can't stand how silly and annoying Coco is. How dumb and annoying Coco is. She has no spine, seems on the spectrum, no. Or has severe ADHD, no. Why are all homies apprentice little girls? Honestly, if I wasn't doing research, I would stop reading after the word annoying. It's like a signal word when people want to fart online, ruining people's days. It's those words, right? Annoying, naive. How embarrassing, right? A kid just lost her mother, her home, possibly won't meet her friends anymore. And these people are like, why is she not handling it like a hardened divorce attorney? Objection! She's a child. And that matters, not just because I want to rant. Look, sometimes I need it, boys. Sorry about that. But also because for a child like Coco, Qifrey is not just a teacher. Let's list what Qifrey means to Coco. He gives her a place to live, access to magic, which also means to the possibility of rescuing Coco's mother. Qifrey is also one of the very few adults that can defend her from losing her new life entirely. That is called attachment. Qifrey is Coco's secure base, also her safe haven. In episode 2, Coco can start learning magic with less worry because Qifrey gives her enough safety to try. She's still scared, still consumed by guilt, but she can move forward because this adult is here. When the world of witches becomes terrifying, confusing, cruel, Qifrey is also the person who makes it feel survivable again. Hey, not bad, huh, Qifrey? That's what good adults are supposed to do for children. Huh, can't relate. But you know who can relate? Her name is Farron, from Fira and Beyond Journey's End. Look, no matter how much of a punk Firan we see on camera, there's one undeniable truth. Firan is a great mentor figure. Questionable method sometimes, especially when you compare it with Coco Qifrey moments.
人を幸せにする魔法ばかりだから。どうせなら。すぐに慣れて自由に駆け回れるようになるよ。堂々としてていいんだ。
think we should recognize that Viren trained basically the best sniper from the south. But the important part here is not power level, it's structure. A teacher-student relationship is the healthiest when the student slowly becomes more capable, more independent, and more able to challenge the teacher. Once again, can't relate, but look at Viren for a second. Viren is emotionally flawed, socially weird, irresponsible in her own Viren way. But Viren is not trapped inside Viren's wound. Viren can criticize her, Viren can get angry, Viren can say no, Viren can mother her grandma elf. Viren is dependent on Viren early on, yes, but Viren was like 6 back then. The dynamic then gradually gives Viren more agency. Now, compare that to Coco and Qifrey. The question now just doubled. Would Qifrey abandon Coco eventually? That's one. But now also add, even if Qifrey never abandons her, can Qifrey even actually help Coco become free while carrying all of his own wounds? Coco needs to become someone who can choose, question, resist, stand on her own feet. But looking at their circumstances, there's a real risk that the opposite happens. Dependency. Look at it this way. Coco is lucky whenever she gets experiences outside Qifrey's shadow. With the other girls, with Eiga, Tetia, Richa, she needs that. Because if all of her safety, hope, identity are built around Qifrey, while Qifrey is still torn between his agendas, smells bad, don't you think? I also want to consider one more thing. I'm actually suspicious that Coco's so-called naivety is a part of her trauma response. A fond response. Coco becomes too agreeable. I want to be careful on this topic, of course, but we do have an example. Episode 10. When Qifrey hesitates to leave Coco in the care room alone, Coco has every right to act like a scared child because, shocking revelation, she is a scared child. But instead she tries to accept exclusion like it's her job. She swallows the fear, she stays polite. Honestly, that doesn't sound like protagonist courage. That sounds like a kid trying to stay safe by becoming easy to keep around. So yeah, for Qifrey it's basically like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. But it gets worse. Again, this is where the easy answer breaks, because judging the Qifrey-Coco dynamic means we have to understand the mechanism behind trust. It would be 1,000 times easier if Qifrey acts like the Knights Morales dude with sing eyes. This a mental terrorist. Bro goes to the freaking gulag. But in case of Qifrey, it gets complicated. Because he actually earns trust. He deserves it. I want to take a look at episode 3 to show you what I'm talking about. So in episode 3, when Coco was fighting for her life, Qifrey went out shopping. God damn it, Qifrey. But this is the first time we saw how other adult mages act around Qifrey. They act weird. Specifically, I'm talking about this very attractive woman, Alyra. Hold on a second. She acts as if Qifrey is some kind of contained problem child. She remarks on how Qifrey is a problem child, about his stirring up trouble again, while watching Qifrey carefully. It really feels like she's surveilling him, rather than relaxing with him. But even then, she still talks to him. There are some friendly gestures too. And that's important, because if Qifrey were just a known monster, they wouldn't treat him like this. They treat him like someone to watch, yes, but also someone who still belongs somewhere in the social world of witches. And aside from that, if Qifrey only cares about his obsession, why does he act nice even when there's no witness there? Why does he need to act nice to a sleeping child? Tarta isn't even related to his atelier or his obsession. Why, even when he was hesitating, did he still help non-witches when Coco was in the hospital? Why bother worrying about Agat's anxiety-fueled growth at all? Because you know who Qifrey is? He's a character with deep level of nuances. He's caring, patient, protective. He's also weirdly obsessive. But again, it doesn't negate all the positives. In short, Qifrey earns trust behaviorally, but he loses trust structurally. And that is Qifrey's mechanism of trust. Behavior-wise, he is a good teacher, a good man, a stand-up guy. But structurally, he is a wounded adult in a wounded system, holding power over a wounded child, while chasing a wound he may not fully understand. I know why it's really easy to call out Qifrey as bad and only bad. I get it that some people really love the idea of this mask off moment. You know, the mask is finally off. This and that. It's as if you act differently, one must be the mask of lies and one must be your true self. As if you don't act differently when you talk to your crush and when you talk to your parents. Well, guess what? At the end of the day, even those masks are part of the person. Qifrey's obsession is him. His good teacher, nice bloke, handsome, chill guy side is also him. So if Qifrey is both trustworthy and suspicious, then the question changes. It's not just, can this relationship be saved? But the worthier question is there anything here worth saving at all? Throughout my formal studies on human nature, there are two hard truths I want to share here. One, we're social creatures. It's up to a point that a lot of people think it's better to be inside a toxic relationship than actually stepping away, for plenty of reasons. And two, the real question is often not whether a relationship can be technically saved, it's whether it is worth saving at all. Because some relationships are not worth saving, very clearly. I am of course talking about your worst ex. You're welcome. But honestly, the factor that separates relationship worth saving from those already decomposing in the basement is rather simple actually. It's called respect. Respect! It's so funny how obvious it is. You take respect out of the equation in relationship, or worse, replace it with its opposite, contempt, and it's basically thanks I hate it here. Try it. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is. Friendship, parent-child relationship, marriage, teacher-student. You take out respect and the clock starts ticking. Please don't try it. The point is, as long as respect is there, the relationship has something worth saving. Not proof that it's automatically safe, of course, but proof that there is still goodwill there. Still recognition. Still a chance that both parties can choose to improve. And in Qifrey's situation, the respect is obviously there. Qifrey respects Coco. He's patient enough to respond to Coco's curiosity. He respects Agot's ambition even when the ambition is catchy enough to need adult supervision. And maybe a small fire extinguisher. When Tetia starts goofing around, he bites. When Riches starts ranting, he listens. He is wounded, but a worthy human nonetheless. But again, respect isn't everything. Caress the shadow and knock them to the ground.